You too.
Yo, what's going on, faithfuls? And we're live on all major platforms: YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch, and Facebook. All right, and we're back with a fun-filled episode of the Red and Gold 24/7 show. All right, and of course, let me do my things right here. Okay, all right, and of course, I'm your boy Ryan. And of course, next to me over here, got Coach Ron. On the other side, I got TJ. There's me. Of course, we got the Drew Meister, Drew Ski. And of course, right there, down, Mikey Mike. What's up, Mikey Mike? And of
What
course,
up?
way in the corner over there, we got Money Mav. What's going on, fellas? What's going on?
What's going on?
I was promised fun.
Drewski. What's
And of
up?
course, you catch Money Mav on his convo with Mavocado. That's his Twitter handle. 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific on Tuesday nights, YouTube and IG. And of course, featuring sometimes Ron and Drewski. All right. And of course, That in Our Life with Coach Ron. That's his Twitter handle. 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific, Thursdays on YouTube and Twitter.
Oh,
All right. So, and coming soon, of course, Baez D. Coming soon. That's where you catch him at. Coming soon. All right. So, what's going on, fellas? What's going on?
what's up? It's been a fun day.
Yes,
Some
it
news
has.
coming out. Some news has been coming out here.
It ain't been fun, man. Everybody decided to retire at one time.
You brought the right one up there, Drewski. Okay, here's
Fitz
our
Magic
first one.
gone. Alex Mack gone. Frank Gore gone.
Wait, Fitzmagic gone? He
Yeah, he retired today.
Yup, Alex
Oh,
Mack,
you serious,
C
bro?
retires from the '49ers.
I didn't hear that.
Only person that didn't retire was Brady. I'm trying to figure out what's going on.
That's okay. We're gonna retire Brady's ass.
Well, I should have stayed retired.
He gonna be like, you know what?
Finna get
I
that
should have
hit.
went on the same day they all went.
Yep. Damn, I got Bruce Arians fired. I should have just went ahead and retired.
Yep, Alex Mack retires, officially retires. So, yeah, man. I knew he was on the Falcons, and that's who his coach was Shanny. When Shanny was on the Falcons, that was his coach. So, I guess it's time for him, I guess he talked to his family, and I guess they all agreed with him, and it's time to hang him up. So, basically, that's what I got for him so far. What do you guys?
I mean,
what do you
did we not see that coming though?
It was going back and forth for me. Like there was times when I was like, he's retiring. There was times I was like, I think he's gonna give it one more year. But then the news broke today about the restructure. I'm like, that's it. He's retiring. You don't restructure like that unless you're retiring. But my question is, how long have the Niners known about this? Because if they knew before the draft, why didn't they go get a center?
Yeah, I think that's a good question. And I think that really tells you what they're thinking. When it comes to replacing him too. If they knew going into the draft and or had a good idea and this is what our team looks like now, I think that says a lot. Because I know everybody wants to know, who's filling that center spot this season.
Yeah, but you said something about Brunskill, didn't you not? On the text message earlier.
Oh yeah.
I'm sorry, Brunskill scares me. I'm sorry. I don't trust him.
I was iffy. Yeah, I was iffy, bro. When you mentioned him, I was like, wait a second, no, too iffy about that. And I started looking at centers, available centers and free agent too. And I mean, as far as I can see, the most expensive one is like 3 years for 18 mil. That's not bad, honestly.
Go ahead and grab JC up.
I think JC is going to be it. I think they're going to go get him.
Well, I'm going to delete all my posts from today if we sign JC.
I mean, were you really talking that much trash about this man?
No, it wasn't really about JC because I like the player. I just, I appreciate the next man up mentality, and we were talking in the group chat, and I think Mike was pretty active about it when we were talking about we've had a revolving door at center, and it's because we keep signing these veterans over 30. My ideal scenario would be we have somebody already on the roster, whether it's Brendel, West, or Brunskill, and we can have that center in place for the next 5 to 10 years rather than this continual revolving door, which is why I'm not the highest on Treader. He's 31 years old. How long are we going to have him around? He's had knee problems. He misses lots of practice. Getting that center quarterback relationship is going to be really important to Lance's development. So that's why I've been poo-pooing the Treader signing.
Yeah, I felt the same way about Mikey when he brought up Brunskill. I felt same way.
Brunskill's solid. I understand the trepidation of him playing center, moving into a new position. But I mean, he's a solid offensive lineman. He's a solid guard. He had a rough, last year was kind of a rough postseason for him, but he's a solid player. And you got to take into consideration too that McGlinchey was out for, end of year last year, and so that's obviously going to affect the guy who lines up next to him.
Coach Ron, what's that, someone?
I mean, you almost have to go veteran though, right? I mean, you could go rookie, but I mean that's a big ask. I want to hear a little bit more about these younger guys. But yeah, I think they're gonna have to go veteran. I mean, I'm almost positive they're going veteran.
Just the situation where they're in with Trey Lance being pretty much a rookie, like you got to have someone protecting him. Like if he was more experienced, I could see bringing the next man up. But I think to give him the best shot, we got to have a veteran under center just to help him get going.
Yeah, two rookies, one. Whether it's a veteran on the team now, I know no one likes Brunskill at this point, but I would want to see veteran because two rookies at well, technically Lance is not a rookie, but you know what I mean. It's his first time starting, and then to have him go out there with a rookie center, that's a concern.
Hey, Drewski, do you want to say something, bud? About the Alex Mack?
What is it called? I think I said my opinion. I'm just saying, JC, that's it. If you want to do it, I mean, we're going to definitely need it because with Lance, just now getting this start now, and then say you make a wrong move and we put a hole in the line, and all of a sudden he gets hit a couple times, it don't look good. They're going to pull it straight on him and gives all them people to say, see, I told you. Like, he's definitely just going to need somebody just to complete that line. That's it. So whether it's Brunskill or we find somebody else, it got to hold up. It got to hold up.
Cool.
Yeah, because even if you do like a rookie or a young guy, like you still want to throw a veteran in there and give that young guy time to develop properly, and maybe mid-season make the change if it's not working. But to just throw a young guy out there like that, it's gonna be, unless they look really good.
I mean, I got a quick question though. How old do you consider the veteran to be? What's the age to be considered a veteran?
I don't even know it's about age. It's just about experience.
Yeah, years played.
What's Brendel? Is he third or fourth year? Like I know he hasn't. I know he's bounced back and forth a lot between practice squad and whatnot, but is this his third year in the league? Fourth year?
Fourth year.
Fourth year?
Yep. And then it's Donovan West, I think.
Melissa, what's up? What's up, Ryan? Ryan,
What's up? What's
Ryan,
up? What's
Ron,
up?
Drew, T, Mike, and Mav.
What's
going
up?
on?
What's going on?
Jason Toe
What's
is
up,
my
Miller?
pick.
But yeah, no,
Melissa's got taste.
I just asked that question, man, because I mean, you look at
As long as we never hit up Giants again because their line is trash. Straight up there. Straight up, Melissa. Straight up.
wow.
I liked Richburg because he was a CSU
But no,
guy.
I've always looked
that's
at
leading to
like,
Homer.
okay, from the Giants.
Yeah, when we picked up Richburg, I liked him just because he's a CSU guy.
Yeah, I mean, you're not
But
in a
no,
hurry, I don't think,
still,
are you? Like, you
I
can
mean,
wait too for cuts.
off your 4-year contract,
You think you can wait for cuts on center, Ron?
you can.
I
Like,
And there's
mean,
still
I know,
available players
I
on
know
the.
there's
I
a
mean,
veteran. Like I'm not questioning there not being quality offensive linemen, but with how important center is, you think a center could get up to speed? You know, if they were week 3, week 4 preseason cut, you think they could get up to speed by season opener?
I don't think we
so
wait. I think if we're going a veteran, like if we're going for JC, he's going to be with us before camp.
what you think we give him like a 2-year deal or something?
Yeah, probably.
Does anybody worry why JC's still out there though?
That's what I wonder too.
Yes,
We've
yes,
been
I
talking.
did think that already.
We've been talking about him for a while, and it doesn't seem
'Cause-
like any other teams are being talked about as a possibility for him.
Because I believe,
Exactly.
according to Pro Football Focus, he's the 6th ranked center.
How expensive is he?
I think he dealt with injuries, man.
I know, like for a number of years, I think the knees have been a recurring issue for him.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
that's the only reason why he's out there.
He's pretty much a game time player. He's one
mean,
that
it's
doesn't get a
fine.
lot of practice during the week.
His signing
Well, as long as
bonus
you're ready
is
for game time. I'm just
1.6,
playing.
and
Mav, what's up? How much is he?
his contract last year, his signing bonus is 1.6, but his contract from last year was 3 years, 32.5.
Oh shit!
He's had a 4-year, 3 years, and 3-year contract everywhere he's been.
So
I
would
would
he
think
even-
at this period of free agency, though, I don't think he's going to get that much or anything more than a year or two at
I
this
mean, the
point
Packers-
in free agency.
I mean, the Packers had him for 4 years at $2.5 million, bro. I mean, that's a whole 4 year, and then the Browns went and gave him some money.
Yeah, so the Browns
2 years.
ruined it.
I mean, yeah.
I guess so. Go ahead, Mike.
I mean, this far in, if there's no other team showing interest, I could see him signing a relatively cheap deal for 2 years.
I mean,
Kind of prove it thing.
Altogether, he got about 50 from the Browns for 6.
So I don't want to sound like I'm a hater on Treader. My concern as from a center is just how much comes with it. You're making all those line calls up there. You're basically the quarterback of the offensive line. That's where my concern comes from, and that's why I'm a little more comfortable with a guy like Brendel or Brunskill, especially not a lot of teams run that zone blocking system, but I know the Browns do, and I know he comes from that system. But if it was a guard and say there was just a random free agent out there, that would be one thing. With it being center, that's where my concern and trepidation comes from.
Center is very important to Shanahan. Like his offense, everything's got to like line up perfectly. So I'm pretty sure he's out there. He's trying to figure out what he probably wants to do. So if JC's an option, he's probably very in deep watching some tape to figure out if this guy's going to be it.
That's what I'm saying. Like, even if you're going to get him, wouldn't you
Damn, this
want to
guy.
see? Wouldn't you want to see what you have on your team first? Like, I mean, nobody's really rushing to go sign this guy.
Yeah.
I'm sure they're using OTAs to see, is Brendel the
He's
real
already
deal?
a vet. Yeah, he's already a vet. He's been in the league a few years. I mean, you can watch tape to see what you're getting. Watch your guys, whoever you have in mind. They don't cut it. Then you go out and make the deal. I don't think you got to
Yeah.
do anything now.
Yeah.
That's all
I
I'm
don't.
saying.
And I think that's what Mike was talking about this earlier is
August
when did
about
Shanahan
97
know?
figured out.
Because I think it really, I think whenever Shanahan knew and was constructing this team, did he know before the draft? Does that show that he has that much faith in Brendel? Is that why he's so quick to sign West and give him a big signing bonus? You know what I mean? Or
He'd have to have known.
was it up in the air?
I think if you're Shanahan, you have to know. Like, you got to give yourself a deadline. I think that's just more time for him to prepare. If he knew sooner. So I think he've already knowing Shanahan. Like, he was like, hey man, I mean, I respect it, but he had a deadline set way before anybody else knew, and he knew that. So he's been evaluating that position ever since. So I think that's what's going on, really.
Hey, the button, guys. With
Shanahan's definitely known. Mack is his guy.
Mm-hmm. So
Juice,
he's probably looking at the rooks. Go ahead. Sorry.
I just want to get it out here. That way you guys can talk more. With Juice calling a lot of changes based on the D, based on what he sees, do the 49ers even need a vet for center? Question mark. Because if Kyle took the position seriously, he would have gotten Creed Humphrey.
Yeah. Does anybody remember? It was in the pre-draft in one of the pre-draft press conferences when they asked Shanahan about the importance of center, and he was just like, "Well, it doesn't matter in our system. We don't necessarily need the center. Making the calls on the line that could be something one of our guards do.
Mm-hmm. Trent does.
Mm-hmm.
That's one thing about Shanny is like you already know he's 2 steps ahead of everybody else. So there's always a reason for something with him. Nothing's ever out of place or out of line. So yeah, I mean that could be it. Like,
can we all agree that we trust in the process, whether we bring in Treader or we don't, and we roll with Brendel or Brunskill?
Because center's so important to Shanny, I believe he's going to make the decision that he needs. So I'm all for his process, and whatever he picks, he's going to see someone in something or something in someone, and he's going to make the right call.
yeah, me too. I mean, like, how could you not give him a chance to do what he's got to do before you start going out and criticizing?
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely want to see what he's gonna do. That just shows you how good of a coach he is. If he gets it right, you're like, hell yeah! Like everybody saw it coming, and he freaking solved for it. Pretty good, Shanny.
Oh, sorry.
Look at Ron being all positive about Shanahan. He's
Right?
grown up.
Hey,
you would think he's talking about Harbaugh.
Because with this draft, I respected him because like I thought I knew where he was going, and he completely juked me out of my boots. And now I'm like, okay, like maybe it makes more sense to me as far as what positions he values, what he looks for, and now it's like makes more sense to me. So I'm just like, all right, I'm gonna give it a shot. Like maybe the type of lineman he's bringing in, he's already got this planned out. So I'm curious to see how it's gonna work out. And how they're going to play in the season. Is this something we're going to be talking about in a good way or in a bad way? Like,
I like that.
Suspense is killing me.
I like that you're coming around. Because when we first started doing this, you were kind of the Shanny Lynch hater.
Oh yeah. I mean, like, don't get me wrong. I'm still going to criticize. Like, between us. I'm not gonna go out publicly, but yeah, like if there's something that comes along and shit, like it could have been better. So far, like he's getting an A in my book, but he's doing everything I would like to see as a fan. So you can't even hate on that.
I think this year that we're going to see full genius of Shanahan out for the team.
Yeah, like that Mostert shit hurt me. Don't get me wrong. I was pretty annoyed by that, but you got to get over it and move on. So,
Money Mav, did you want to copy off to what you just said?
I mean, I ain't really got nothing to say.
Okay. All right.
I ain't really got nothing much to say. I mean, the fellas pretty much covered everything. You know? Only thing is, I just wish we would have went for a little younger vet. But then again, the money's so tight right now. I'm just going with whatever the Niners are doing, man. I trust the organization, and I trust Trey Lance to make the right plays if he ever get in the jam. So
that's
I think we good.
Earlier that the mobility of Trey is going to kind of line.
Okay, so I guess we're switching
Jesus
gears.
Christ, Curry is going off right now.
Okay, here we go. Frank Gore signs a one-day deal to retire as a 49er.
Love it.
It's no more boxing.
My bad, fellas. I'm following the game over here.
Anyone talking crap on that? They're not.
You're breaking up, Mikey. You're breaking up, bud.
Afforded us the ability to sign off.
Mikey's driving through a tunnel.
Yeah, it probably is.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I got you now.
Okay.
What did Melissa say?
Hold on 1 second. I gotta go back to it. Sorry.
There you
go. Didn't the Chargers pay Thrug to nose last offseason for the center from Green Bay? The young stud are expensive.
Yeah, who was the center?
Yeah, they are, but I mean,
they signed last year.
See, when I say a younger vet, I mean somebody like at least 27, 28 that can give us a good 3-4 years. But then again, though, you would have to give them some kind of cash.
How old is Treader?
31.
31.
Okay.
But see, I'm looking at this guy right here that's 30, Josh Andrews. And I mean, he's just been on 1-year deals. He went undrafted to the Eagles. 1 year, then with the Vikings. 1 year, then 2 years with the Colts. 1 year with the Jets, another 1 year with the Jets, and his last year was with the Falcons. And everything has been for like, dude, he hasn't even hit $2 million on one team. Everything has been under 1 point something.
I've been crying on and off all day because of all the Frank Gore on the timeline.
Oh man.
Yeah. I mean, I'm glad he did it though. I'm glad he's doing it. I'm glad
Didn't they announce that he's going into the Niner Hall of Fame too right away?
Yeah, they did.
That's cool.
That's awesome.
That's cool.
And most likely he's going to the front office too.
Yeah.
Aren't you going to the front office?
Is he not boxing anymore?
I'm trying, Ron. I keep knocking on doors, but no one's answering the door.
Kick that door in, bro. Get on the staff.
Hey, if that one New York Jets scout can do it, you can, Mike.
That's true. That's true.
Yep.
Let me in.
Is he not boxing anymore? Is he done with that?
I think he had a fight a couple weeks ago, and he actually won. He knocked the guy out. But still, I don't want to see my boy doing that.
No, but I mean, if he does go to front office, does he quit or does he?
Yeah, he has to.
Oh yeah, 100%. He can't be out there getting brain damage trying to do something for
Right.
So with Frank Gore calling it a career, he's unquestionably the best running back in San Francisco history, right? In the history of the franchise.
Just throwing that out there.
I mean, it's a dumb. I'm just trying to confirm it.
He just casually just said, I mean, right? I don't know, bro. I mean, he's
I
over
mean, bro,
Roger Craig.
listen, saying Frank Gore is the best running back in 49ers history is like giving a fuck you to the $1 million backfield.
Look, just so I don't get jumped by the old timers, it's Roger Craig. Okay?
We've had so many running backs come through the 49ers doors. I mean, Frank Gore is just one of them. He's in a handful of running backs that we've had, bro.
Name another one. Who
I
else?
love.
Hold up.
I love Frank Gore,
though?
but damn, what's up with Garrison Hurst, Ricky Waters, Roger Craig, Tom Rathman? Come on,
look at the longevity of Gore.
That's true.
I think you look at the longevity, and if you just were to focus on what he did with San Francisco, I mean, I think he spent more years there, accumulated more yards than say a Roger Craig did in his time with San Francisco.
You'll get more of a back and forth fight talking about Montana and Young than you will when it comes to running backs or wide receivers of the 49ers. I mean, you got all these old heads that'll be like, they respect Frank Gore, they love Gore, but they're just gonna name all these other running backs before him.
Like, I like Roger Craig as much as the next guy, but you pull him up on Pro Football. I mean, I don't know. I didn't expect pushback, guys. I thought you were gonna be like, "Come on, TJ, you know what's up."
I mean,
this guy bleeds red and gold. This guy's done so much for this franchise. Even when he was on other teams, he still considers himself a Niner. Like this guy's this team's running back. Like he was the heart and soul of this team for a long time.
That's that Florida boy.
Hands down, bro. I mean,
but let's be honest. Let's be honest. Most people our age will go with Frank Gore because that's who we've witnessed.
Is Frank Gore your favorite?
Like, oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, TJ.
Sorry. Is Frank Gore everyone's favorite running back in this room? I'm not talking about if you think he's the best. Is he or?
Oh yeah.
Is he your personal favorite?
Number one for me,
without a doubt.
49er wise
running back.
No, I'm saying 49er wise.
Yeah,
as a running back.
I love Gore, but I have to say Garrison Hurst because of the comeback injuries. He came and then still went out and had amazing years after that.
I'm a Ricky Waters guy. I'm a Ricky Waters guy, and I know it was a short tenure, but that 94 team is what turned me on to the Niners, and so I just have a special place for a lot of players, and Ricky's one of them. I was a fan of him with the Eagles and the Seahawks too. So,
yeah, Garrison Hurst for me, man. I mean, when that man got hurt, bro, and came back the next year and did what he did, and he got hurt again, come back the very next year, and then he ended up getting hurt with the Broncos again. If I'm not mistaken. I mean, dude,
he had his prime taken away from him with that injury.
He had both knees, I believe, right?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I just like how Gore went about his business.
Oh yeah.
Talking about a workhorse talking about a guy, a blue collar guy who just goes in every day and works his ass off for however long he did it. To me, in my opinion, there's nobody like Frank Gore. He was quiet.
100%. Like he went there and he did his job. You want to talk about injuries?
Mm-hmm.
There were concerns about Gore in the draft because he was always getting hurt in college.
Mm-hmm.
And then he gets in the NFL, and the guy's one of the most durable players out there.
And you know,
how many times did he get hurt?
I think he had torn up both knees before he ever played in the NFL.
Yeah, he was getting hurt a lot in college.
Yeah, I know
and you
that.
think about the guys he had to go up against in college. I think he had to go against Clinton Portis,
Yeah,
and I
that was
forgot who else was over
McGahee,
there. And
Portis, Gore.
Bruh, and
God, there was
he
just a
he
lot of
led
running
that
backs in
backfield.
Miami.
yeah, he did.
No, but he led that backfield, right? And
When
then
he left it,
McGahee and then Portis came.
I
Yeah, he
think when
led
Gore
that
got
backfield. Then McGahee stepped up.
yeah,
Then
I think when Gore got hurt, that's when McGahee stepped up. I think as a true
Yeah.
freshman.
Wow,
because Gore
Melissa's
came
already.
out what 05?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you know
It was a
what,
rotation in that backfield back then, Miami.
So
Yeah.
what I
was-
what I think is sad and really I think it's a shame that Frank Gore had to endure so much losing in his career. The most of the time that he was here, the 49ers were just god awful. But I also think that's what endears them to the fans too, because we didn't have much on offense, but we had Frank Gore for a lot of those years.
Quick
Yeah,
question:
hard, bro.
since he signed a 1-day deal today, if we win the Super Bowl, he gets a ring, right?
oh, he should get the
Yes,
Rock for a play
at least
too.
Yeah, he should.
It's on contract.
Dress that man.
Because technically he would be retired this year, 2022. So it'll do the same thing like the Colts did with Edgerrin James.
Okay.
They still gave him a ring the year after he got traded, just because he
That
was
was
on the team
another
he played
Miami
for.
back, wasn't he? Edge, or was that Florida?
Hmm?
Yeah, Edrin.
No, that was Miami.
Miami?
We got to do it for Frank. We got to get it for Frank. Look at Melissa already showing the love for Elijah Mitchell.
Hey,
I love
after
Frank.
Elijah's my boy.
Hey,
I love Frank, best running back, but I never felt as strong about somebody like Elijah Mitchell. I got a soft spot for late round guys. I do. Yeah, it's true.
as fans, this question, as fans, how long do you have to be a 49er player in order for the fans to look at you and pretty much kind of put you on that board with the 49er greats, or at least mention you as a 49er legend?
How long has Jimmy played for San Fran? Because that's the length of time for me.
Jimmy has
That's
been...
what 5-6 years. 5.
Oh, get out of here, TJ.
Hey, listen, I was thinking 5 years too. At least 5 years you get to be talked about as a 49er.
I'm not going to mention the show, but I got a show you can go on where you can give all the Jimmy love you want, and it'll be welcome with open arms.
People are going to start taking me serious.
No, he's telling you you need to hop on Saturday mornings at 9 a.m.
Bright and early.
Oh man. But
I think
real
5
talk,
years
though,
is a
I
good
was gonna
length of
say about
time.
5 years. Yeah, to actually be recognized as a 49er great or a 49er legend, I guess. What not to say legend, but what would be lower?
I think you got to go through a couple extensions.
Well,
a couple extensions.
You go through a couple extensions. You prove yourself, and you do great things for a team, and then you can be considered.
I hate to
I
keep
don't know
going
though,
back.
bro. I don't know because I'm sorry, TJ, but
No,
I don't even know if it's about length of time. Like, look at Chris Borland. That dude played like 3 games, and he's a legend.
well, and I hate to.
But
to
he retired
keep going.
quick. He retired earlier.
He's a legend. Do you think
I
really
hate-
though it's about time? Like, do
I hate-
you have to be?
When you consider legendary status, time's got to be a factor.
I don't know. I think it's a. I think it's just a whole lot of gray, just like Hall of Fame, because I think it's about impact. Like, it's impact versus accumulation of stats. Like Patrick Willis played in the year for what, 8 years, 9 years.
Yeah.
So he didn't accumulate a bunch of stats, but he had a huge impact because for those 8 years he was the best linebacker in football. And I hate to keep going back to this player, and I may be completely off because I have a bias. There's Drew's plug right there, but I have a bias towards Ricky
Nice.
Waters. But am I the only one that would consider him a Niner great? I mean, maybe not in a Steve Young or Ronnie Lott, but he's there when you talk about 49er greats, isn't he?
I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you talking about Ricky Waters. I'm right there with you.
And I think it was only 4 years.
Is that he became a Seahawk later.
Yeah, I think he was there for before. I think he was there 4 years. And then, I mean, hell, look at Dion. Dion played 1 year with us, but I don't know, man. I think about him a lot too.
Yeah.
Well, the thing about Dion,
they're good, but are they legendary? Playing that little.
But the thing about Dion is that he's a great NFL player. He's an NFL legend. I'm just talking about just being in a 49ers uniform.
I think he might be a Niner great because he came in.
I mean, yeah, he would be
1 year, won a Super Bowl, bounced out.
I mean, you would put him in that category only because he's an NFL legend, and no matter how long he played as a Niner, I mean, you can't just talk about you can't talk about the 49ers without mentioning Dion. That's it. But I mean, as far as like the 49ers drafting you being there for 5 years or longer, accumulate enough stats, you make an impact, like how do the fans view you after you leave the 49ers?
I guess I want to know
hold on, Ryan,
what sense though.
Go back to that first comment. You say what?
I guess I want to know in like what sense though as a great, like because there's different tiers to that. Like, are you in?
Well, that's what I was saying.
Legends.
I wasn't talking about. That's why I was trying to figure it out. Like instead of saying legends and great, but just to be mentioned as a 49er.
Like Alden Smith.
About.
Yeah, mentioned. Yeah, I mean, like you said, Sanders. After a year, like if say Debo would have got traded, we still would have talked about the great year he had last year as a 49er.
Yeah,
I mean
I don't know. I like to think of. I like to think of like every few years they always do like greatest 49er team, and they fill out each position. Mm-hmm. So if we're looking at cornerback, you probably got Eric Davis. Who's the opposite corner? Is it Dion? Honestly, if we're looking at it, was he that impactful in 1 year that he would be that other corner on an all-time team?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Who else you put over there?
Mm-hmm.
Josh Norman,
Nate Clements.
Let's put Mosley over there.
It's just an interesting conversation because I think when you talk legend and greatness and Hall of Famer, there's nothing but nuance there, especially in football. There's nothing but nuance in it.
Yeah, because like you can put Alden Smith on that team too. Mm-hmm. And he played how many seasons?
Mm-hmm.
I think he played 5 with us.
No, he played.
We let him go after our
He barely made it through 4, and we only really remember 2.
Yeah, I know, like right around country rookie season contract.
Yeah, he was drafted in 2011, and then by 2015 he was on the Raiders, and then he was suspended the rest of the way.
Yeah,
so he barely played his rookie contract out.
Do you guys remember?
But
Chris
I
Dolman?
only remember him for 1 year. Yeah,
like that's another one. Dolman, remember the defensive end, Chris Dolman?
Yep.
I mean, what he spent 4 years here. Charles Haley spent most of his career with the Cowboys. I mean, it's just interesting when you think about, putting these teams together.
That's why, like I mean, you can name some players.
I didn't even know that Vernon Davis got a ring with Denver.
Yeah,
he did. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he did.
Wow.
Yep. He was a mid-season trade that year.
Yep.
And he looked awful in that Broncos uniform.
Yeah.
Wow. I don't even remember that.
Yep, he was.
But I feel you, though, Melissa. I feel you, though.
Yeah.
Is that the best tight end in 49er history?
No.
I don't know.
I think Kittle.
I was about to say, even Davis is his give props out to Kittle.
Has he done enough?
I think so. I think so.
What about Brent Jones?
I want to play. I want to play devil's
Brent
advocate.
Jones was a beast.
I want to play a quick devil's advocate with this question after TJ made his Jimmy little comment. He's been with us for 5 years.
Oh,
5 years from now, looking back, how do you think Jimmy's going to be viewed?
He's going to be viewed the way I view him. He was solid.
is he the third quarterback in Niners history?
No, that's Jeff Garcia. I'm serious. That's Jeff Garcia.
Oh man,
Did you like Jeff Garcia?
Dude, you want me to go get my jersey? I still got it.
he was
Bruh,
number
I
5,
couldn't
right?
stand him, bro.
Yep.
Garcia 5?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
when I went to the home opener last year, we went to breakfast, and a bunch of Niner fans are standing outside the restaurant waiting to get in, and I was wearing my Trey Lance jersey, and the guy just saw number 5. He's like, "I love it. You're wearing old school Garcia," and I was like, "Look at the name, bro. Look at the name."
I'm not gonna lie. I loved watching Jeff Garcia play. But then again, like I was in my teens, so I don't know. Maybe I was just an impressionable youth. But I loved watching Garcia play.
No, but like, honestly, when you think back though, I mean, besides Montana and Young, Garcia, Kaepernick, 1 and 2 is Montana and Young off rip. Who comes 3rd and 4th?
I think
Does
Garcia.
Alex Smith jump?
Kaepernick.
Does Alex Smith jump that?
No, he doesn't. Alex Smith, unfortunately, went on to do good things with other teams, but I don't think he's under consideration when he was a Niner.
He had like a rough 5 years to start his. I mean,
I give him a pass, man. I give him a pass. That man had 5 different coordinators, bro. With 6 in 5 years.
Bro.
And a bunch of head coaches, and
he got a bad deal here. I liked him. I was mad when we went with Cap over him, but I mean, you look at what quarterbacks have done for this team, and Jimmy's got to be under consideration because he took a team that was in a black hole and took them to the Super Bowl a year later. He came back from injury.
No, he is under consideration, but I mean, where do you put him?
And see, I'm not a Jimmy apologist by any means. That man frustrated the hell out of me.
Oh, same.
And last year I was just done. I was just fed up. It was just time. But I was a big fan when we first traded for him. You know, he took us. We got to a Super Bowl with him. We got to a championship. I mean, that's pretty damn good for 5 years with a team.
I mean, it's the same. It's the same damn story with Kaepernick too. Even though Alex Smith was there, but the team was not looking great. Alex Smith stayed hurt. Cap comes in. We beat the Bay Packers. We in the Super Bowl as well. We don't win it, but we there. Same scenario with Jimmy.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you're talking like that, if you're talking situations like that, it's the same damn situation, same scenario.
I think the thing that hurts Kaepernick, it's not the politics or any of that, but people are going to remember him as he got benched. Jimmy never got benched, and when he got benched is when all the
but why?
He got figured out.
That's what I'm saying. So it's kind of like
I don't know.
Kaepernick was a burst.
That means a little like that area because, like you just said,
Kaepernick was a burst.
But see, just like you just said, though, Mike, he got benched, and all of a sudden, all the politics came out.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard for me to say he got benched because of bad play or he got benched for politics. Because I mean, it can go either way because it's like right on that borderline. You're gonna have people like me who's saying that, man, politics came in, that's why he got benched. You got other people who's gonna say he started playing bad. And I mean, I'm trying to justify the hell out of it for the simple fact that they're trying to turn him into a
Mav, I gotta be honest with you. I don't remember the timeline. What came first? Was it the kneeling or was it the bad play?
He was benched before the kneeling. And then, like a couple games later, he's
right, and all that started coming out. So it's like,
I have nothing but respect for Kaepernick and him taking a stand, protesting.
I haven't
Whether
really followed it, but has it come out yet on how he did at his workout with the Raiders?
No, I haven't
everything
heard
said
nothing.
it went really well. I mean, it was glowing reviews, but I don't know. I question if that's a token. Like if that's a token, you know what I mean? Like, is this really going to go anywhere?
Why did she have to say Jordan Matthews, bro? Why she had to bring him up?
Or Dante Jones?
But it's true though.
I have a feeling that the Raiders might want to sign him, but it would just be a bad look in their faith in Carr if they did.
So I think Carr is unquestionably the number one quarterback. I don't think Kaepernick is any threat whatsoever to Carr, but I think Kaepernick brings a lot with him. He brings a big fan base. He brings a lot. And the second that Carr struggles,
That's the thing.
do you want to bring that to your franchise?
That's what I think, because Carr maybe have the more talent, but what does it do for Carr's mindset knowing that Cap's sitting there wanting that position? Does he get flustered? Does he start making mistakes thinking about that? Or does he come out and just ball out to be like, this is my job, you ain't taking it?
I think it's
So in other words to you, Mike, Nick Mullins is just the better solution at backup, right? Over there in the Raiders.
Well, I mean, yeah. Nick Mullins ain't getting in Carr's head. Kaepernick's going to get in Carr's head.
I think he already got his head the minute he stepped on the field.
I think it's similar to the Tebow situation with Kaepernick, because back then when you brought in Tebow, you were bringing the circus with you. Yeah. And I think it's a similar dynamic. Yeah. And is that worth it for a backup quarterback or possibly a third string quarterback? Do you want to bring that dynamic to your team?
Yeah.
I think,
I mean,
I think Kaepernick belongs in the NFL. Like, in my opinion, he's been blackballed. He's been done dirty.
Yeah. But Kaepernick wants to play. So Kaepernick, he'll take a third down quarterback job just to be in the NFL. I promise you that. And the thing about it is, just like Mike said, any team right now that signs Kaepernick will either go second or third on the depth chart. But these quarterbacks, if you're not someone like a Aaron Rodgers or who else in the league that's like, if you're not anybody in the AFC right now, like as far as like
Rodgers,
Josh Allen, Rodgers, Allen, hell, Bengals quarterback. I don't see, you're not worried. Anybody else, especially in the NFC, I think any starting quarterback in the NFC right now, Kaepernick is on that bench, they will be worried. They will struggle. I think that mind game will come into play.
Melissa detests Garcia.
I'm not gonna lie, Garcia's kind of been a bit of a douchebag recently. So,
yeah,
I don't detest him, but I just never really liked Garcia too tough.
It's because he's a ginger. Fan. That's why.
I don't know. He just rubbed me the wrong way. It's like the minute I seen this guy interview, it's like, bro, I'm good, bro. You just rubbed me the wrong way. You seem like a cool dude. But
if Lance gets those stats that is being kind of templated, no one's had those stats as a San Francisco quarterback since Garcia.
Dude, I was a Garcia soldier.
Yeah.
When the whole T.O. thing went down, I drew my line in the sand. I was on Garcia's side.
I don't know. I think that Garcia, T.O., just them two alone, it felt like the team had too many of them divas.
Yeah.
That year alone, but I felt like that team was divalicious all day, all year round.
Wow, you loathe Crabtree. Oh, wow.
I I like that Crabtree when he was coming out of Texas Tech, but that attitude turned me off when he did that crap at the freaking draft. Like, dude, Darius Edward Bay got drafted where he got drafted. Let the man get paid. Be happy for your brother. Don't sit over here crying. What the hell wrong with you? Because you went down 3 spots. Okay. Oh, I'm the best receiver in the draft. Bruh, chill out, bruh. If you're the best receiver, then we just got you. Show us that. Show the rest of the league that. All that crying, I was over that, man.
Dude, Melissa's a little historian over here. She knows some crazy stuff.
She's like an encyclopedia.
Yeah. I was like, wow.
Damn, I don't even remember the Castro socks. Going to
Ryan,
Miami with Castro socks.
Do you remember the
Jeez.
pig socks though? Remember the pig
Yeah,
socks? Do you
I remember those.
Yeah, I remember the big socks.
Ryan, do we need like a statistician or a researcher or something?
Oh, really?
I think Melissa's capable. Let's get her on this.
Give her a job.
Yeah, I need to see those Castro socks. I don't remember them. Wait, I don't even remember T.O. having a grudge against Brian. Yeah, whatever. Is that what it is?
Bro, nobody liked T.O.
Yeah.
It's safe to say he had beef with everybody on the team.
Do you think he had a more? Do you think he had a more of a diva with the 49ers, Cowboys, or Eagles?
Bro, he was a diva. Period.
All the above.
Yeah.
All the above.
Dude,
I figure I'm saying that.
He and Chad Johnson had a fantasy team called the Divas.
Dude,
Speaking of,
Ocho
so
Cinco
serious,
was
bro. That
never
was the
good
name of
enough
the
for
team.
all of his nonsense.
Speaking of the BS Cowboys, I'm over there. All their fanboys on Twitter still thinking that they're going to get Debo.
They're bored.
Get over it, dude. I don't think I've ever seen a more delusional fan base in my life. Every year they think they're winning the Super Bowl. Every year they think this. Every year they think that, and the media feeds it to them.
I think it's
Yeah,
been
they
the
gonna get
standing
Debo.
punchline.
I just think that the Cowboys have a really fair weather fan base. Like, I don't think the Cowboys have many diehards. Like, that's not the majority of their
Stop
fan
being
base.
nice. Stop being nice, TJ. It's all about
Like, there's just some of those fan
Stop being
bases
nice.
where it's just like they're uneducated. They know nothing about their team.
Oh,
But they call
uneducated.
themselves
That's definitely a word to describe the Cowboys fan base. Uneducated.
like I live in Colorado and I detest the Broncos. They're right behind the Cowboys as least favorite team because I live in Colorado. But they're good fans. They're knowledgeable. They sell out. Like, I don't like them, but they're a good fan base. I'll give them that. I think the Cowboys it's just a bunch of fair weather.
They don't like
Try
CD
living in
Lamb.
Arizona.
Yeah, or Seattle. Like,
Cardinal fans are the worst, bro. Let me tell
Oh,
you. Let me get
Cardinal fans are.
started with Cardinal fans.
Bruh.
I hate fan bases that
yeah.
didn't exist until like 10 years ago.
LA Rams. Anyone?
Yeah,
Mhm.
like living in Colorado, you never saw a Seahawks hat or jersey, like, ever. And then they then they win a Super Bowl, and all of a sudden there's all these Seahawks fans around Colorado.
Oh, yeah.
It's like,
It's such a
come on.
joke. I will give it to Charger fans though, because they don't really have fans, but the fans they have are true fans. They like stick with that team.
It's just like a Lions fan. If you're willing to say you're a Lions fan, you're a Lions fan. If you're willing to own up to it.
Listen, if you
Look,
tell me
I
you're
mean-
a Lions fan, I respect you. I would shake your hand.
Yeah, because
Because
that's
you
a
had
lot
the
of
courage to
misery.
tell me that you was a Lions fan, bro.
Yeah. Look, I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, that's how you usually become a fan. Like, the team is doing good and you jump on, and then that's all she wrote, and then you're a fan for like 30 something years. That's cool, but don't jump on a bandwagon and then pull up like 2 years later and act like you've been here the whole time.
Oh
That's
yeah.
how Seahawks fan. That's how
Or they just leave. Like you come out here.
Yeah.
The Rams fans have all disappeared. No.
That's
one's
a question for
supporting
TJ right there.
Yeah, TJ, go for it.
I'm glad he's out of the division. Is my first thought about Russ leaving Seattle, and I think it's a pretty solid move for Denver. I mean, I think he definitely makes Denver contenders, not just in the West, but they're up there with AFC contenders just simply by adding Russ Wilson, because there's a lot of talent on both sides of the ball on Denver. So I think it's a good move. I would be a little worried about, are we on the downhill side of Russ Wilson's career? Because he looked awful last year, but I know, he's battling injuries.
That was the point I was gonna say, is he's kind of on that downward spiral. I wouldn't be surprised if he ends up being a bust for the Broncos. I think it can go either way. I'm not saying he's gonna be, but if it happens, I would not be surprised, and it ends up being just a total failure on their part.
I definitely think
in Seattle.
Yeah, I definitely think Denver screwed up by not re-upping his contract right away, because they're going to have to pay a lot of money.
Yep.
Oh, did they not re-up him?
Shit, they did.
No, they haven't renewed his contract
But
yet.
they can also walk away if it don't work, so they're going to pay
It's
a
true.
load. And if it don't work out, they can just walk away, take a different direction. I'm still surprised he left Seattle.
I think they had the money to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, the man been wanting to leave Seattle for the past 2 years.
Yeah, but they've been saying that forever, and like, I just kind of thought like he was gonna work shit out, and then boom, he's gone. I'm like, whoa, that really just happened.
You know what's even more surprising to me is that Pete Carroll stuck around, because isn't Pete Carroll like 70 years old?
Dude, Pete Carroll, he's gonna end up being an embarrassment.
What's up, Tony?
Pete Carroll retires after this year.
Whoa.
Sorry. My bad, guys. Sorry.
Are we good?
Yeah,
I think
who we got with us?
Yeah, it's Tony, guys. It's Tony. Tony, you there? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm here.
There's a bad echo.
Sorry. Yeah, that was me, guys. My bad. I'm sorry.
What's up, Tony?
You're on Tony. You're on Tony.
What's going on, fellas?
What's going on?
None.
What up?
None at all. Just driving home from work.
Well, last conversation we having right now is on Russell Wilson over there with the Broncos. How you feel about him?
I mean, he finally gets out of the division, and we got to play him again in the AFC West. So this is what it is. He's in a better situation. They got a better offensive line in front of him. I mean, Seattle's going nowhere. They didn't believe in investing in the way that they should have. But the funny thing is, he left, and they invested in the line. So I don't know what to make out of it. But I think, in my honest opinion, being that they did not address the quarterback position, they're kind of in a rebuild right now. And when I just popped in, I heard someone say they were surprised that Carroll stayed at 7 years old. I gotta be honest, I'm kind of surprised too.
Yeah, why put yourself through a rebuild?
Yeah. Well, I mean, listen, Russell went to a pretty damn good position scenario team with the Denver. They have good offensive weapons. They have a pretty solid defense. So we'll see. They got to put it all together. I just read something the other day on the internet saying that Hackett's going to give him, like, I think that's the coach's name, that they're going to give him full control in calling plays, which I don't agree with, because there's only so much you can see playing the position.
You talking about giving Russell Wilson full control of calling plays?
Yeah, I read
that's a mistake.
They're going to give him a full green light to checking out a play.
I'll take that green light against us. We three.
Yeah,
give him that
go
green
ahead.
light.
Go ahead, Russ. You go ahead.
I'll take
and call
that.
it Bosa sacking your ass 5 times in that game.
Listen, it is what it is,
Yeah.
man. The guy's quarterback, but I don't know.
Melissa says, "What up, Tony? You're her New Jersey, bro."
What's up? What's up? Yeah, fellow,
Hey, you know what?
fellow
I asked myself this question: if the Jets did not draft Zach Wilson, does Russell Wilson end up a Jet? Because I mean, Sierra wanted to go to New York. I don't think so.
No.
That's what she wanted to be in New York.
Yeah, she might want to be in New York, but he wasn't going to put himself in a situation where he's possibly not going to be winning games.
Remember a year ago, like they leaked a list of teams, and like Chicago was on it, and the Raiders were on it.
Yeah,
I remember that.
Wasn't the Jets on there too?
The Jets were not on that list.
Or was it the Giants? One of them.
The Jets aren't on anyone's list.
Now I believe one of them New York teams was on his list because of his wife.
It was probably the Giants over the Jets.
Was it the Giants? I gotta look. I know it was one of them. Damn, Mike just don't like the damn Jets. Jesus Christ.
It's a purgatory team. It's fucking trash.
Hey, that's 49ers East. Watch your mouth.
Yeah, well.
Yeah. And the Dolphins are 49ers South.
Yeah, well.
Yeah.
There's only one 49ers, and we'll take care of all of them.
And then wherever D'Amico goes after this year.
It's true.
It's probably going to be Carolina.
I'm sorry, man. Am I the only one that believe that these coaches, if they are to move up, they need to go down to college first?
I know,
Like,
you
just
had
go,
that
just
theory.
go. Yeah. I don't know what it is. It's kind of like, I mean, you go ahead.
I don't. I mean, it's tough because you go to the collegiate level, and then you try to come back into the league. Like that's saying like Kyle Shanahan would have to go back to should have took the head coaching job at Texas before he came to Niners head coach. There's no way in hell that would happen because I know the team definitely would have offered him a job before he even got the opportunity to talk Texas. Some of these coaches that come up through the ranks are they're talented guys. Like I think D'Amico Ryans is one of those guys, and you got to watch. And I know it's kind of like a little bit early to say this, but LaFleur, who went to the Jets, I think that's Matt LaFleur. I think it's Matt LaFleur. Mike LaFleur is with Green Bay. Matt LaFleur is a very brilliant coach. Like if you listen to him talk, he did a presser for the Jets the other day, and he completely broke down the different levels of a passing attack in an NFL offense. And if you listen to him talk, he's very, very highly educated, and he understands the game. So it wouldn't surprise me to see him get thrown around for a potential head coaching job.
I mean,
within
I thought he was going to get the job before Saleh.
And Saleh's that dude that like he's a leader of men. He's not just. It's hard to explain. Like he commands like the respect of the locker room. Like he'll walk into a locker room and you'll feel the presence. Where I think LaFleur would have to work on that part of it. Where Saleh, like if you listen to the Niners defensive players when he was here, when he spoke, you listen.
So, yeah, I agree with that.
Matt, did you not see the man run the stadium steps?
I see it. I see it. But did you know? Did you know anything about Robert Saleh before the 49ers?
Thinking about that, thinking about commanding a room, that makes me think of McDaniels down in Miami.
I was thinking the same thing.
Do you feel he commands a room when he walks in?
What's that got to be like when that guy walks into the locker room?
Like he doesn't have a presence to him.
That guy's got to be like what, 5'8", 150?
Oh yeah, wet.
You know what though? I think McDaniels has a presence because he's so fucking smart.
But that's
I used to love listening to him.
That's just like LaFleur. Like he's smart, but he's not going to command like a locker room. He knows the game. Like I have a feeling McDaniels is going to be a bust as a head coach.
I don't know, but what do you think about Kyle? And like Kyle Does Kyle have that presence?
Kyle is very charismatic. When he like talks to guys, like he's got this charismatic personality that you don't always get to see when the media is kind of like just giving him shit. But Kyle's
He's got like
a guy.
He's got like a player's coach mentality, doesn't he?
Yeah.
One guy I would have loved to play for is Tony Dungy. That's the kind of coach I'll be looking for. So, yeah. Yeah, so I mean, a guy like Shannon, I would play for him. McDaniels, like Mike said, I would probably look at him funny with a slight of disrespect.
You know,
he whoop my ass.
You want to know who I would like to play for? Mike Tomlin.
Yeah,
like he just he has that aura and that authority about him. Like he seems like the kind of guy that you would want to run through a wall for.
Yeah, but he also looked like the kind of guy that'll scream at you the minute you mess up. Come here, son. Let me beat what I told you about.
Grab you by your helmet.
When I was in high school, When I was in high school, I had a defensive line coach who would rip our ass. He was that one coach on the team that, would say F word every other word, and he'd call us down, and then like 2 plays later, he'd call a timeout. He'd run out into the middle of the field. I'm sorry, guys. I know you guys are busting your ass out there, and
Dude, I played for a coach who had a bad habit of just grabbing people by the face mask for no reason, bro. He's giving you a play, sending you into the game. Come here, go. Like, and the next guy coming out, he grabbing him by the face mask. Like, dude, stop it. I don't even want to play for you no more. Don't even send me back in the game no more, bro. Now you being too damn abusive on the sideline, bro.
Yeah.
Kerry Hyder, 3.5 sacks versus Russell Wilson. Okay, so the Giants was tossed around because of Daniel Jones.
Oh, Mike 04 is the Jets. Matt's with Green Bay.
Okay.
Do you know Nathaniel Hackett's got ties to San Fran because his dad used to coach for us back in the glory days under Walsh?
Yeah.
Really?
What was it, Paul Hackett? I think it's Paul Hackett.
I mean, Saleh is very energetic.
Now he is.
Dude run up and down that freaking sideline.
I don't know if he's cutting as a head coach though. Well, we'll see how the Jets do this year.
Has a head coach ever hurt themselves running up and down the sideline screaming? I'm pretty sure that's happened before, right? Pulled a hamstring or something.
It's it's had to have happened.
I know I'm not thinking of a movie because I've seen it happen in a movie before, but I know it's had to happen somewhere between college and the NFL, right?
I'm sure.
What if that happens to Pete Carroll? I'm not wishing that on him, but can you imagine him running down because his team finally has a nice play going after 3 weeks of getting bammed by everybody?
After 3 weeks of Locke playing quarterback.
Yeah, he's chomping on that gum too.
Oh God!
Take 2 steps trying to run, and then all of a sudden twists his ankle or something.
A fucking horse.
I tell you what, Pete Carroll is 70 years old, but that guy's in better shape than I am.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? Let's run that real quick before we cut out. What's your thoughts on a center position?
Oh yeah. What's your thoughts, Tony?
What? I'm sorry. You got to go up for a minute.
What's your thoughts on the center position with Alex Mack retiring and all?
All right, yeah. So basically, like, we talking about like the guys from the Niners and stuff. Like, and I've been saying, like, I personally, I had a gut feeling Alex Mack was not coming back at all. And the more and more it stretched out, and we saw, like, the Niners give Donovan West $100,000 guaranteed, and then all of a sudden today they announced the restructure, lowering his salary, stretching it out over 2 seasons. That screamed that he was going to retire, because if you go back 2 years, they did the same exact thing with Weston Richburg. when he decided to retire. So now that he's out of the picture, you have to look at me personally. I'm going to go with Jake Brendel over Brunskill because Brendel is more of a center. They're trying to make Brunskill a center, and sometimes that's not the best thing to try to make someone that they. I understand he had a couple snaps last year at center, but he did struggle with shotgun snaps, exchange in between the legs with the quarterback, low snaps. You don't want that, especially in this scenario with Trey Lance. So I think right now, if you pencil it in, I think it's Brendel. I think they're going to try to give Brunskill an opportunity to compete. I do think West will be given an opportunity to compete. I think J.C. Treader is an excellent center. He ranked and scored, according to PFF, very highly. He's given up 1 sack, I think, in 1,100 pass attempts. But my main problem is right now with J.C. Treader, A, what kind of money is he going to command in a contract? B, the guy can't practice. Like, he doesn't miss starts in games, but he doesn't practice at all in the season and in the offseason, like, a training camp. And right now we need a center to be on the practice field with Trey Lance, to get continuity with Trey Lance, a rapport with Trey Lance, and snaps his hands under his butt and in the shotgun. You need that rapport. So my thing is, like, everyone's so quick to say, all right, bring in the veteran. But then next year you're going to be right back at square one. Who's playing center this year for the Niners? Oh, we'll draft another body. No. I personally would go young. I mean, they have the Nick Zakello kid who slid inside at guard at the Senior Bowl. He played pretty well. They ran behind him like three straight times and picked up probably about 20 to 25 yards that I remember watching in the game. But I think it's time to finally seal the deal at the center position and give a young guy an opportunity to grow with Trey Lance. So now year in and year out, you're not saying, oh, shit, who's playing center for the Niners this year? We have to scramble and draft a guy to go sign another veteran. You don't want that. And I know Kyle's very adamant about turning the keys over to the offensive line that's at the center position to a rookie. But I think this one, he might have to finally take it on the chin and truly develop a guy and let them work together and let the two interior guards work together with this kid. That's just the way I look at it. I know people don't agree with me because I already had some pushback on Twitter saying that, like, you can't afford to waste this year. But how do you know what Donovan West is? How do you know what Jake Brendel is? We saw Brunskill in starts, and they were okay. So you got to give guys opportunity, and that's instead of spending money on bringing somebody off the street that A, he's not going to be able to practice, and B, what happens if he gets hurt? You're right back at square one. So I do think Brendel gets the penciled in right now starter. I think they're going to let them compete for if someone could overtake the starting spot from Brendel.
I believe that the 49ers
Preach, Tony.
years are long gone behind them, man, for real. Like, anybody who says we can't afford to waste a year, you're a damn fool for not seeing what the hell the 49ers have been doing the past 5 years, even with Jimmy G on the center. Dude, Kyle Shanahan, I believe he's got it. He's got everything that he needed from day one that he couldn't get. So I believe in the Niners, bro. I really do. I feel like I know what they're gonna do, and I'm just gonna roll with them. But I do agree with you, young, have them grow.
You got to realize something, right? Kyle Shanahan witnessed 2 years ago that teams were starting to pick up on his offense, right? Especially Jimmy. You stock the middle of the field, you take away the throw from Jimmy, the offense bogs down. If you jam the edge, they can't get outside on the outside zone. So is it funny in 2020, in the 2021 draft, he goes out and drafts 2 big physical offensive linemen, a bigger running back, and a quarterback, and sat them all to get ready for 2022. I think you're going to see a new look offense with Kyle, and I think it's going to be a lot more of the inside zone, mesh with the outside zone, and a lot of gap man scheme and run blocking, the run design. They bring in Anthony Lynn, a guy that shows that he can set an offense inside, outside, power, gap, scheme, zone. And they're going with a more physical front, it looks like to me. At my opinion, the guards. I think right now you're penciling, if you're asking me who the starting offensive line is, if tomorrow was Sunday and a week 1, I think you roll out Trent Williams at left tackle, obviously, Banks at left guard. Right now, I would throw Brendel at center. I would put Jalen Moore at right guard. And if McGlinchey's healthy, you roll with him. If not, you have an open competition. The next man up could be Cole McKivitz at right tackle. And that's the way they roll. A more bigger physical presence on the offensive line. Because how many times did we see last year teams just playing stacking the box and trying to out-physical the 49ers because they're more lighter finesse offensive linemen. If Brunskill's 300 pounds, he's barely 300 pounds. Laken Tomlinson was 310, 315. McGlinchey's McGlinchey. Mack was up in age and weighed about 305. They want a more physical, dominant front. So on the 3rd and 2s, the 3rd and 4s, you could line up and say, we're going to run the ball down your throat with a 220-pound running back that's sub 4.5. So look for a little variety to the offense as far as a more physical running attack. And Anthony Lynn said it best. He goes, now I think we have our thunder and our lightning. And that's going to be the change to the offense. I still think you still see the outside zone principle, but when they need to buckle up the chin straps and dig deep, I think this offensive line is going to be able to do it.
Yeah, I agree with you. But I think Brunskill finds a spot on that line.
And Donovan West is the guy we drafted this year, right? The center this year?
Undrafted free agent.
Undrafted. What about him? What do you feel about him?
I like him. He's a 4-year starter. 2 of them were at guard. His last 2 years were at center. He learned from a guy that has history and taught principles in the outside zone, inside zone scheme. And I forgot his first name, but his last name, I think it was John Kavanaugh, the offensive line coach from Arizona State. And he had responsibilities on the offensive line and protections and stuff like that. I like what I've seen from him on tape. He gets to the second level, he gets downfield and leads, and that's what you want to see. He shows the athleticism, he shows the ability to control the offensive line. His pass sets are pretty solid up front. He has this weird technique with his offhand, his non-snapping hand, so he can get leverage on the defender. Because listen, my personal opinion, I think center is the hardest position on the offensive line because, A, you got to snap the ball and establish control of the guy head up on you or inside or outside shading you with one hand. So not only you have to get that ball between your legs and not just throw it and get your hand up, but you got to snap it back, punch with your non-snapping hand, and reset with your snapping hand. And that takes a lot of work and it's a lot of technique to it. But he has this weird unorthodox thing he does with his offhand, and it allows him to get leverage. It's the weirdest thing. I can't explain it, but if you could, just try to go watch some tape on him and just watch it, you'll see his hand, like, he gets under the breastplate of the pad so quick. And he was a wrestler, I believe, so I think that could be helping him out too. But for them to give him $100,000 guaranteed with $15,000 signed on top of that, I think the Niners potentially could have solidified their center position with him, or that was their intent. But don't discount, don't sleep on Zakel, the kid from Florida. I don't think he's quite ready this year, but he's a guy down the road you got to watch. Maybe next year to make a push for the center spot. But there is a slight chance that maybe if West plays good, and shows he can handle his own, I don't know. Maybe there could be a shot he really makes a run for that starting center spot. See, my main thing is you don't want to take a guy that's played other positions and teach him how to do this. I think if you ask me my personal opinion, that's been a flaw of the 49ers for years. Like, the number one person that comes to mind to me is Tank Carradine. Tank Carradine was a ferocious speed pass rusher from Florida State. Yes, he tore his ACL. They drafted him in the second round. They said, Tank, lose weight. We're going to stand you up as an outside linebacker. He lost weight. Nah, it's not going to work. We're going to we're going to make you a 34 defensive end. Gain weight. Then they told him to lose weight when they went to a 4-3 front. You can't keep screwing with players like that because it's not good for them. And it's kind of the reason why we were able to draft Drake Jackson at 61. Because USC did the same exact thing with Drake Jackson. So I'd rather go with a guy who's played the position and is a true center rather than try to take somebody and make them a center.
Hey, Mike, you still there?
Yeah, I'm gonna head out.
Yeah, I know you do. I know. I got you.
All right, guys.
All right, bud. Later on, Mikey. Yep.
Catch you later, Mike.
All right, bud.
Hey,
Tony.
real quick,
Oh,
One last thing, real quick. I see Melissa over here is real low on school. What's that? School? That's the name?
Justin School?
She wants to know your thoughts on Poe. And do you think he doesn't make it with Colton and the other guys?
Who, Poe or School?
School.
All right, Justin School is coming off an ACL. He was the first man up when the injury started to happen pre-ACL, so that's taking it back to 2019. The difference between School and McKivitz is School, they tended to give help often in passing, in pass protection, where McKivitz showed that he was able to try to do it on his own and prove that he could do it on his own. There were some times where they chipped, like the edge guy went back out of the backfield, whether it was Juszczyk or Mitchell or Hasty, whoever it was at the time. But, you know, my personal opinion is I think McKivitz, when Trent Williams was down, played one hell of a game versus the Rams, minus one play. And I think he kind of took the seat from School. But listen, guys, I'm going to tell you right now, the guy they drafted from Texas San Antonio, Burford, don't sleep on this kid. The kid has a mean streak to him. He has the athleticism. He has very, very long arms. He shows the ability. He has the traits. He has the things that you can't coach. But he just needs some teaching. Like, he needs to be molded. The majority of this draft class are all pieces of clay that this team can mold easier than guys that are more finished products that don't have the traits that these guys have. And that's been a tendency that the Niners have been doing. They're passing on the sure guys. Like, okay, we've seen what he could do. We know what he could do. He has a lower ceiling, but a higher floor. But the Drake Jacksons, the Burfords, the corner from Toledo, all these guys have high ceilings, but they have a little bit lower floors. But they have the traits, and I think this team is going off of traits and ceilings and the ability to develop talent. Player development has been a huge thing since Kyle and John took over this team, unlike previous years. But I think there's going to be a couple special guys in this draft class. Not this year, but potentially in 23 and 24.
Yeah, and I think that's why they drafted Lance and why they liked him enough to trade those picks to move up to 3 last year, because Lance has the highest ceiling out of any player, any quarterback in that draft, and that's including Trevor Lawrence. because he's got all the physical traits, and then, I mean, the big arm. You know, he's raw, but he's got the highest ceiling there.
And the toughest thing to teach is the mental part of the game, right? The IQ. You're either born with it or you don't have it. So Trey Lance, in my opinion, after going back and listening to interviews by Jesse Naylor when he interviewed the North Dakota State, either quarterback coach or offensive coordinator, and listening to that, this kid had a lot of responsibility at North Dakota State that a lot of teams overlooked. And watching him and watching some of the North Dakota State tape and watching, like, you know, behind the scenes with him working at practice, this kid was the most NFL-ready quarterback mentally. As far as X and O's on the whiteboard, he was that kid. Now, yeah, Mac Jones came flying out of the gate. Yeah, he looked good. He got a bunch of wins. Great. Threw for a bunch of yards. But I'm going to tell you one thing with Mac Jones. As the season progressed and went on, and the weather started to change in New England, you saw the struggles in Mac Jones. Right? The knock on Mac Jones was the arm strength. You saw it when the weather changed. So everyone needs to Mac Jones is a solid quarterback. I'm not saying he's not. But if you're going to pull the trigger on a deal, giving up what they gave up to get there, you don't want a solid quarterback. You want an elite quarterback with elite traits. And I think that's what they got in Trey Lance. But, of course, he has to prove it on the field.
Yeah. You can't trust a quarterback with the dad bod at 23.
I mean, his work ethic, too. Like, you know, Jimmy's Jimmy, right? He's limited. He's a Mac Jones-esque, probably a little bit below Mac Jones, if you want to know my honest opinion. But this kid's a leader at 21 years old, 22 years old. He's calling guys as they're being drafted, welcome them to the team. He's taking control on the field. Like, you see that difference. And George Kittle threw a shot at Jimmy, right? Oh, Jimmy Garoppolo bought me a cell phone, but I haven't heard from him since. Like, that's a shot at Jimmy. Jimmy drops off the freaking grid after the season. And that's not good. Like, that's what you want as the face of your court, like the face of your franchise. I'm not saying he's got to be perfect, but look at Trey. He goes out to games with George Kittle, like Warriors games, a couple hockey games. Like he shows his face. This is the quarterback of the 49ers. And, you know, you just have to – I'm just really very happy that Kyle Shanahan is our coach, and I'm happy where this team is going. Because right now, this team's roster is pretty freaking stacked, man. And I think it's up there with one of the best rosters in the league. And I don't even know – I mean, I don't want to say it's the best roster because I'm not saying it as a homer. I'm saying it straight as a football guy. I don't think there's that much better of a roster. And if it is, it's not by much in this league. From 1s to 4s, like straight across the board. Yeah, we have Trey Lance. We have Nate Sudfeld as a quarterback. Yeah, that's unknown of an outsider. But from what we know of what we watched with Trey, how he developed from Arizona to the Texans game, listen, man, the trajectory is going up, and it's going up quick. So there's a lot to be, happy about. There's a lot of positive things going around with this team now. And they've just got to simply put it together and get on the field and let it rip. God willing, this thing gets settled with Debo. This offense is going to be insane with a quarterback that can throw more than 10 yards and outside the numbers and down the field. And Kyle knows it.
Yeah, TJ, you say you got to go in about 5 minutes. You good still, or you want to go?
Yeah, I was just sending a message. I got to head out, fellas.
No problem, bros. No problem. Thanks a lot, man.
Yeah, we go ahead and call it a night too, because I gotta be up early in the morning.
Gotcha. Hey, Tony.
What's up, buddy?
Can you hear me, Tony?
It's always a pleasure talking to you, Tony.
Yeah, good talking to you, Tony.
Definitely, guys. Let's do it again.
Thank you so much, Tony, man. Thank you, man.
I wish you could jump on here earlier, though.
What's that?
I said, I wish you could jump on here early.
He has to work.
I know.
Listen,
His
I try
job's
my
done.
best, man.
Hey, man, that's all we ask for, you know.
Those damn 9 to
Yeah.
5s. Hopefully,
We'll
we
figure
won't
it
have to
out.
be doing them 9 to 5 for long.
Be careful
There's a
driving,
lot to
okay,
talk
Tone?
about. All right,
I
guys. Have
know.
a good night.
Later
All
on,
right, be
Tony,
safe,
bud.
brother.
Later.
All right,
Later.
Melissa, you have a good night.
All right, later on,
You
Mav.
too.
All right. Okay, I'm gonna try to do this the best I can, peoples. Sorry, I'm a little bit off here as I'm driving. But I want to thank you very much for watching the Red and Gold 24/7. All right. Right now, I'm on the Parkway course going to get my wife. That's the reason why I had to go change my phone. So it's all good though. I got a schedule when it comes to my wife's work. So yeah. But first of all, from the comments, thank you, Melissa. Thank you. I don't know if I've been want to ask you for a while now. I don't know if you want me to call you Izzy or Lizzie or Lizzie. I'm not too sure how you want me to say it. That's the reason why I want to ask you on that. So, but I want to thank you very much for your comments. Thank you so much, really. Thank you. Bottom of my heart. And all of us on Red and Gold 24/7. All right. So, matter of fact, I want to thank all my fellas. And of course, I definitely want to thank Tony for coming on here. I knew he just got done work. So, and he asked me right before we went on live, about a half hour or so, asked me if he wanted to come on. I said, "You're more than welcome to come on, man. You're more than welcome." So basically, I just told him, he asked me to send a link to him, so I did. And, he said it'll be on around an hour after we came on. So he popped right in. And as soon as I went off to, as soon as I went to switch over to my phone, that's when he popped in. That's the reason why you heard that crazy noise in the background. I'm very apologetic about that. Sorry. So, but yeah, thank you, Tony. Thank you, Melissa, for your support. Thank you very much. I very appreciate it from all of us. So, of course, I want to thank my fellas. All right. Of course, talking about Mav, Coach Ron, and of course, Mikey, Drewski, and of course, TJ. All right. And hopefully we're back definitely this weekend for the Faithful Empire. This guy know when it's going to be. All right. So, of course, I want to do my plugs real quick before I get off. That way everybody knows where to find my fellas at and everything. So as soon as I find it, I'll be all good. Sorry about got a little hectic here. Trying to find my stuff. Give me 1 second, fellas. I'm sorry. So, where are we? Where are we at? Trying to find it. Nope. I think I went the wrong way. Oh man, I'm doing real good, aren't I? Jeez. I know it's there. And I think I might have found it. Oh my goodness, I'm not doing good at all, am I? I tell I'm not. 1 second, people. Sorry. Just trying to get all settled here. That way I can do it right. Sorry. Okay, I think I found it. Sorry. My bad, people. First of all, I want to start with Mav. All right. Go find him on the Convo with Mav and Cato. That's his Twitter handle. He is live on YouTube and IG at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 Pacific on Tuesday nights. All right. And of course, you can find Coach Ron on That in Our Life, hashtag That in Our Life. Well, that's his, of course, that's his Twitter handle on Wednesdays. I'm sorry, Thursday. I'm sorry. My bad. Thursdays on, I mean, not Thursday. I'm sorry. Killing mistake in my days now because I know we had to switch around a little bit. But Mondays. I'm sorry. Monday nights on YouTube and Twitter. All right. So that's how you find it. I'm sorry about that. My bad. So, and of course, Drewski, he's got his Bias D. That's his Twitter handle. It's coming out soon. Hopefully, within another couple weeks, he'll get that going. That we'll have another channel to go and do our stuff on. So, all right. So I'm proud of him for that. Very proud of him. So basically, I'm gonna end it like I always do, fellas. All right. I'm gonna try to do as best I can. All right, just give me 1 second. I'm sorry. I know it's kind of hard when you're driving to do the most taxing, especially where I live at. So keep the faith, never lose hope. All right, fellas and people and faithful. And oh boy. And of course, we're out here. Peace.